Hi Tarot friends, it's Jade here with Tarot Your Truth, and I'm back with a another video response to the hashtag 31 Days of Tarot 2020, hosted by the lovely Ethany. And today's I think the 29th or 30th. I've lost track of days. My last prompt was day 16, no, day 15. And I've skipped a bunch of days, mainly both because of combination of just time and also some of the prompts didn't really apply to me or would be exactly the same. So just because of the length of time that I've been in the tarot world. So I'm going to cover the rest of the days. There's about 8 or 9 of them that I'm going to cover in this video, and I'm going to try to make it super quick. So the first one I'm going to cover is prompt number 18, which is, what is the best deck for meditation and journey work? And for me, this was a very simple prompt because it took me about 30, not even 30 seconds to figure out what deck I wanted to talk about for this. And this is, of course, the Tarot of the Hidden Realms. I pretty much have only done pathworking with this deck, even though I have numerous decks. And part of the reason is that if the deck is too cutesy or sort of cartoony, I have a hard time doing that. Whereas with a deck like this, or this deck in particular, the faces are just so expressive. I know they're supposed to be fairies and not not humans, but they're just, I just find it so easy. Like this would be so simple to sort of jump into the card and, what are you looking at? What's going on here? What's with the 3 roses? It's just, yeah, expressive is really the only, is really the best word that I can use here. So I just find I just find this works amazing for meditation and for pathworking as well, just because of how the artwork is done. Anyway, so I won't go through the whole thing. I do have a walkthrough on my channel if you are interested. This deck I did modify. I rebacked it, so I put clear contact paper on the back so that well, I was worried about the the cardstock. I thought it was fairly thin, and I really love this deck, so I didn't want to lose it in any way. Okay, then I'm going to skip number 19, and I'm going to go, because I don't use tarot for magic, so that doesn't really apply to me. Prompt number 20 is, show us your favorite lover's card, and I'm going to show you a couple of cards, 3 cards, and I love them for different reasons. Let's talk about this one first. So this one is the Next World Tarot, and the reason I love this particular lover's card is because it is about self-love. I mean, that is, this is her stepping out of the mirror, and so she's finally accepting herself, loving herself, which is pretty amazing. So that's one. The second card is from the Light Seers Tarot, and I just love how they're just so wrapped up in each other. You can feel the emotion there. And the third one is from the Everyday Witch, and this one again, it could be two friends, it could be 2 sisters, it could be 2 lovers. Don't really know, but even the little kitty cats actually have their tails entwined, but they're just together. They're choosing to act as one, be one, in whatever the situation is. So those are my 3 favorite lovers cards, and again, all for different reasons. Prompt number 21. I feel has been done to death, and this one was the show us your favorite 3-card spread, and why. For me, I use a whole bunch. I really like the mind, body, spirit, sort of above your reality, and then below what's the foundation. Those are the two that I kind of like. Card or prompt number 25. So skip a few. Prompt number 25 was, if you could meet any tarot creator, who would it be and why? And again, this is a pretty this is a pretty simple one for me, because really I would love to meet any deck creator. I am not a super artsy person, so I admire anyone who can put artwork together like this, whether it be Chris Ann, whether it be, I think this one is Deborah Blake, it could be Ciro Marchetti. I think his artwork is amazing, but really any tarot creator, I would love to sit down with them and talk to them about their process, how they go about putting things together, and even just coming up with a concept. Or does it just come to them? What's their muse? I would love to have those types of conversations with tarot deck creators. Okay. Prompt number 26 is, show us your tarot journal if you want. My tarot journals were pretty basic. This one is just a little book that I got off of Amazon, and at the beginning of the, or sort of last year, they're pretty simple, right? I put the spread, what the questions are, what I actually got, and then my discussion or my reading, I guess. So they were pretty simple, pretty boring, and I have been inspired by the lovely Boho Tarot to try something different this year, at least for my weekly readings. So I'm going to be trying to jazz them up a little bit. So I made copies of the cards, and there we go. Put them in, and what the different positions mean, if there's a position, and then my little discussion. So I'm trying to jazz them up a little bit, just for my own interest. I find it easier on the eyes when it's not just a page full of writing. Prompt number 27 is, what is the strangest place that you have read tarot? For me, I would say the strangest place was by the pool when we were on vacation in Napa Valley, and I got some interesting looks, but that was okay. I don't have any really memorable readings from that. It was just I think I don't even remember what I was reading about, but it was more the location than the actual reading that was strange. Prompt number 28. Have you ever converted a tarot non-believer into tarot believer, or vice versa? And I'm going to say yes. I did a reading, on a couple of things, actually. I did one reading for a family member, and there was some information about this family member, because they're overseas, that I didn't know. She hadn't told me, and I was just doing a live spread for her, and it kept coming up with all these things about, what is she going back to school? Like, what's going on? It was just really, it was very weird, because she had not told me anything about going back to school or going back for a degree or anything like that, to do with education. And I said it anyway, and it sort of blew her mind. She'd asked me to do a reading just as a joke, I guess. And when I told her this information, she just kind of, like I said, it blew her mind. And I had another friend that had the same sort of thing, where she was just coming over for wine and asked me for, I was actually voluntold to do a tarot reading, and she actually got pretty freaked out about the information that was coming out and didn't actually let me finish the reading. So I would say that she is now a believer, and she actually has her own tarot cards now. All right. Prompt number 30 is, what tarot card best represents you? So this is, let me move these out of the way. This is kind of a weird, not a weird prompt. It was an interesting prompt for me, because I feel like there are many cards that could represent me all at different times, and for different reasons. So I pulled out a few from my Light Seers Tarot. The first one I will talk about is the Hermit. I'm an introvert, and I love my own company, so I have no problem sitting on a cliff just looking out at sea for hours on end. This is the Queen of Wands. Typically, if a card is meant to represent me in a tarot reading, this is the card that comes up. Although recently, I would say that the Queen of Cups has also come up. I didn't pull that one out. I'm just kind of thinking about it now, but yeah, the Queen of Cups has been coming up recently too. Some things have changed in my life, so I can see that. And I've also come up as the Queen of Swords at different times. So, who knows? I guess it just all depends. Here's the other Queen of Wands this is the first card that I actually did pathworking with. And it was just, look at that. I can imagine her being a full-fleshed person right here talking to me, saying, hey, let's go party. Let's go have a drink. And the other card that can represent me oftentimes is the Justice card. And that is because ethics is one of my core values, and nothing really gets under my skin more than seeing injustice in the world, either in my own social circle, or in the greater world. So so that's what those are the cards that I would say represent me the most often and the best. Okay, so that was prompt number 30. Prompt number 31 is, what are your tarot goals for 2020? So my tarot goals for 2020 are, I have a few, and I don't know if this is too many, but the first one would be to learn the Solabusca tarot. So do I have that here? I do. I have been reading the Game of Saturn, and I really want to get to know this deck much better than I do now. See if I could, there we go. And be able to read with it, because it's not just your run-of-the-mill tarot deck, as you may know. So that's my first one. The second one is to get much more attuned to, or be able to read more with pip decks, and in particular both the Marseille and the Ancient Italian. I know that they're slightly different, but I do read those more numerologically than anything else, so I'm going to count those as sort of one category. So that's two things. And then the third one is to learn the Thoth system. So those are the three major goals that I have for 2020. And then so those are in terms of what I want to learn and what I want to incorporate into my tarot practice. And in addition to all of that is just making it more of what's the word I'm looking for? Making it more of a practice that I do more often, not having to rely on tarot challenges to sort of give me to sort of give me oh my gosh, what's the word? I'm totally blanking, sorry. To give me prompts, I guess. I would like to just use tarot more in a way that will let me just make it more natural, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Very badly, so I apologize about that. And that's it. So that was prompt number 31, and that is the end of the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed watching all of your videos, and I really love also watching all that. So not just the responses on YouTube, but also on Facebook and Instagram, and even just the comments and whatnot. It's been fabulous. So thank you so much to all of you who participate. Thank you so much to all of you who comment and who watch. And thank you very much to Ethany for hosting this once again. This is the first time that I am participating. I didn't participate in every single one, which is fine, but I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.